Hey guys, so not too long ago, Driving Empire did a roadmap. It's more like a Q&A, but yeah, I did record the whole thing, and I did cut out the useless parts of the video, like the introductions, the parts where they pause. So yeah, I have every question in there and answer. So yeah, all of them are in there, so you guys can watch the whole thing. So this video is going to be really long, so yeah, let's get right into it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our developers roadmap stage and AMA. We're very excited to have you all here, and we cannot wait to answer your questions and share with you what our plans are for the first quarter of 2025. Are there plans to add trading/auctions to the game in the future?
In terms of like, are we adding trading or auctions? It's definitely on the table, but like it's a very complex issue. We have to, be careful when we add this because of hackers. We want to also prevent ways of scamming and duping and stuff like that. And so we also don't want to, accidentally break the economy. So we're open to exploring these features for sure, and especially if there's a strong community demand for it, we'll talk about it. So that's all there's on this.
Thank you, JM. Next question: are there plans for a matchmaking feature for races?
Yes, ideally some form of crossover multiplayer, and we actually might be testing some matchmaking approaches over the beginning of the next year. In the long term, though, we'll also be looking at the potential maybe for ranked racing. So racing is a huge aspect of 2025.
Next question has been very asked: when is the new map being released?
So new map, we are not having a new map anymore. Just kidding, we're gonna have a new map. The new map's gonna be coming next year. We still don't have like a final date. One thing that I can tell everyone is that we don't want to rush this project, so we want to make sure that the map's perfect before release to everyone. We're gonna be moving right now to a testing phase, so Martin is also helping us to select some players to help test the map and make sure that the map's amazing. Probably you guys are gonna be seeing some updates over the next quarter or the next 2 quarters, so probably like something between March and June is when we are aiming to have more news for everyone.
Next question: where is the new map based on?
That's a good question. We had a lot of discussion about the map, and one thing that we noticed from a lot of you asking us is to preserve the iconic locations that we have today in the map and try to make sure we're enhancing the quality as well. So what we're going to be doing is 2 things. Number one is we really want to keep some iconic stuff that we have in the map today, but also we really want to bring new areas to the map. So what you're probably going to be seeing in the future map, it's going to be a lot of things that we have today with a better quality. There's a lot of new stuff happening in the game, but something that I just want to make sure everyone is the same page. This project is not about just like deleting the old map and bring a new one. It's basically like revamping the map that we have today and adding new areas so you guys can go really play and do a lot of stuff.
Next question will be for JM. Will there be more interactive buildings with the new map?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're building this new map, we absolutely plan to have a lot more open building, interactive elements, things for you guys to go in and role play. It's a really big process. It's a lot of assets. So we're going to start with the dealership island, and as we work throughout the year, we'll start adding more buildings and stuff like that or role play areas in other areas of the map, right? So like the downtown, and then we'll expand further outwards. Definitely we want to support role play.
Next question goes for coders. Will there be performance optimization with the new map?
Yeah, but first I want to provide some context. So for the current map, we've optimized it quite a bit, and we've seen month over month our technical metrics have increased. So our FPS has been on the increase. Overhauling the current map is not feasible. So with this new map, we're going to be following some of the best practices for designing an efficient world. You can imagine that we're taking into careful consideration just different technical aspects of how we design the world. Some of the things we're being mindful of is visual fidelity for players who have strong devices and want to have a nice visual experience, and as well as for like low-end devices where the world needs to run more performantly. So we're going to be optimizing on a platform basis, and we're going to ensure that each platform gets the best performance and experience in terms of visual fidelity.
Next question: how long does it take to model a car?
So for a car, start to finish, probably 35 days, give or take, for most of the modelers on our team right now. That's everything from like making the core proportions of the mesh to all the textures, like the icons, gauge images, like everything like that we're building in-house for these cars to make sure they're accurate to real life. If you include the time it takes for us to then send that to a brand and go through the review process, which oftentimes includes the actual engineers at these brands, like looking at and reviewing the cars with us, it's probably closer to the 60-day mark. End to end, if we decide we want to start in a car tomorrow, the quickest way you can usually turn that around and get it in game is like 60 full days from like the modeler finishing the car to the brands reviewing it and us getting like the final check mark to throw it in game for you guys.
Next question, pretty interesting one. What is to be expected with appearance customization next year?
We've been juggling different kind of ideas that we want to like give you guys access to be able to customize your cars. We have quite a few ideas, but one of the ones that stand out to us the most is giving players the ability to add decals to their cars. This is something we're experimenting with internally, and it seems like an interesting way for you to be able to personalize your car. But yeah, it's still pretty early. We're investing into the tech, but it seems like really nice. And we're also looking into ways of like adding RGB to your rims or the wheel hubs. So there's going to be stuff coming. Don't worry, new options will arrive.
Next question: what can we expect with performance customization changes?
Yeah, so this is a big one. You guys are in for a surprise, but we are in the process of adding a brand new system in how you're going to upgrade your vehicle. Essentially, the big picture, right, is that when you upgrade a component like your engine, you'll be able to unlock sockets in that component, and then you'll be able to put in parts. And those parts are going to modify how your car feels with specific attributes. You'll be able to collect parts, and there'll be of various mods and rarities, one stronger and weaker, and basically you'll be able to take the system and sort of customize your car a bit more like you want it to be for your own playstyle, right? So if you want more acceleration, you put in more accel parts. If you want more top speed, you do that. And there's going to be weird parts like that are going to modify your weight, stuff like that, if you want to have a lighter car or heavier car. So these are the things we're exploring. It's still in work in progress. This is definitely coming your way. And with that in mind, we also want to explore new ways to improve the UI for the performance stats so that it's easier to understand, like what each stat does and how your modifications are actually impacting your vehicle.
I've been looking at chat, and this has been a very frequent question. Will jobs ever return?
All I'll say is we may have some news regarding jobs in 2025, so stay tuned.
Will ×2 cash weekends return?
In a way, yes, but not as you know it and not like on a regular basis. So it might come back, you might have like 2x cash as part of an event, and maybe it's throughout the week or throughout the whole duration of the event and not just the weekend. Like that, we can definitely explore. The main issue with this kind of design approach with like the 2x weekends is that overall it really harms the health of the game in the long run, right? Because with those regular expected cycles, you're upping the amount of players that come on the weekends, but you're actually lowering and hurting your game on the weekdays. Because as a player, if you play the game outside of weekends, you're actually like, it feels like you're wasting your time. It feels like you're not getting as much as you are if you do play on weekends. Overall, it's a bad strategy, but we like the aspect of, obviously giving you guys more cash, but having it being related to an event, and it's not something that is expected every single week. Look for it in 2025. It'll be there here and there, but we'll announce it for sure.
Another question: will there be different ways to earn cash?
Yes, there's no real specifics on that right now, but we are looking into ways of doing that. It's sort of broken into two parts, right? There's the rebalancing of the economy of the game itself. Like we need to just adjust the values, and this is an ongoing process, right? We can't just rebalance the whole game and it's done, it's perfect. Over time, we'll balance the numbers, especially things like race payouts, to make sure that they're fair and that you guys are able to accumulate the cash that you need to buy the things that you want. The other part of it is actually adding new systems that are actually engaging and compelling and that you want to play, and those are going to be rewarding for you. If you engage with them, you'll get cash that way. So all of these new systems, that's what's up in the air, but we definitely want to add those.
Next question: will controller vibration be added?
Yeah, so there's actually, funny you mentioned that, there's actually a feature going through development right now which introduces something called haptic feedback, which is the vibration on controllers, your phones, everything like that when you do certain things in game like nitrous or drifting around a corner tightly or something like that. So this is actually something, it's already in development. We're gonna try to get this out to you guys as soon as possible, but we're just making sure everything is nice and polished and neat, and it's really gonna, I think you guys will love it. That's coming along with quite a huge feature that'll really revamp things, so you should be excited.
Okay, and last question before the content creators. This has been something that you guys have been asking a lot, and it's why can't houses be sold?
So number one is we are still not sure what house is going to be on Driving Party. So that's the number one statement that we have. So we are not sure exactly what's going to be the final design and the final feature. So since we still are defining exactly what that's going to be, we're not going to be making any change in houses. But since everyone have been asked a lot of things, we are take consideration a lot of your requests on designing this new system. And once we have a better update about what house is gonna really be on Driving Empire, we're gonna be letting you know as soon as possible. Because we know that this is a pain point for everyone here. We're gonna be letting you know once we have a design. We have been talking with a lot of players to understand like what they would like to have on houses, what are the things that they don't like in houses right now. So once we have this answer and we have the final design, we're gonna let everyone know. But for now, we're not gonna make any change.
Okay, now moving on to the content creators. First of all, we have Cam Plays. So would you mind sharing your questions with us?
Okay, so the first question, what do you plan on doing to innovate and keep Driving Empire fresh? Because adding cars every week is going to get very boring and repetitive for the player.
And to be honest, not just for the players, it's for us as well. At the moment, it's going to be like super boring to just be adding cars every single week. So we have a lot of plans. But I think the biggest one is like we are exploring different ways to drive by more exciting. One of the things that we have to take consideration is like we really want to keep like car updates every single week. So every single week, you're going to be getting more cars. But we also want to work in more like features, events, bring some more brands to the game. And I'm not just talking about car brands, I'm talking about a lot of different stuff. So we can have a better like overall experience. So right now we are trying to find a better mix between releasing new car brands, releasing events, releasing other really exciting stuff that I cannot talk too much about it. And of course, like keep improving all the systems that we have today. So we're going to be finding this better balance for sure.
And then my other question was, how much of a challenge has it been to work with car brands and get them into Driving Empire? Was it hard to convince them at the start? Obviously you had Pagani first. So was it hard to, because obviously since you didn't have anybody, was it hard to be like, to let them know that you were, you know, big in the space?
So I think in terms of convincing them, it's like a snowball effect, right? So I think at first, a lot of the brands, you know, have to explain what Roblox is. They get used to it. But as we added more and more brands, I think, it became easier to convince other brands to jump on board, right? Kind of jump on the trend there, I guess, to some extent. So for sure, a snowball effect, much harder at the start, a lot easier now. I think that we've kind of proven ourselves. We have a lot of major brands in game. And in general, the brands are super excited. So launching on a new platform, it's a new audience for them. So they've been really engaged across the board. A lot of them are actually genuinely like very excited to launch on Roblox for the first time. And a lot of the people working there, you know, whether they play it themselves or they have kids that play.
And how did that go down at the start? You know, when you first pitched it to the first brand, how did it go down? Was it difficult?
I think difficult, but more so because you have to explain the platform to them versus like it being specifically related to Driving Empire, like more so, but like why they should be interested in coming on Roblox versus like, and how like the audience, and I guess it's different from like other games they're licensed on, like a Forza type title, right? So it's like convincing them why the platform's an interesting opportunity more so than like specifically related to Driving Empire, if that makes sense.
So that means potentially could probably be seeing most brands that people want in the game. As you said, the snowball effect.
The snowball effect, you know? Can't say anything else more than that, yeah.
Well, moving on, we have Carter the car. So would you mind sharing your questions with us?
For sure, yeah. So the first one I had was, could we get more in-game events?
Absolutely. We're always continuing to brainstorm new and exciting events to bring to the community, whether that's something you guys have experienced today or things that are coming. So again, like I always say, soon.
And then the second question was, could you add like a button in upgrades so you can just do one click and it's already upgraded, so you don't have to go through click upgrade multiple times over and over?
Yeah, absolutely. I can add something like that. There is some changes that are going to be happening to the way we handle performance customization, you know, coming into 2025. Yeah, I'll see if when we start making these changes, if that's something we can slot in as a quality of life feature.
Moving on, we have Dema. Would you mind sharing your questions with us?
Hi, so my very first question is, will there ever be a rebalancing update? So basically, like some cars feel faster than others and like some feel slower than like they should and stuff. So will there ever be like a rebalancing update?
Yes, absolutely. That's an ongoing effort right now. We want to ensure that, especially for speed, the cars match their real life counterparts, right? So if the top speed would be the same in real life that it is in the game. We also want to match things like acceleration speed, like from 0 to 60, and also braking distance, right?
Yeah.
So these are all metrics we want to make sure are properly balanced, and that the cars themselves are balanced against each other, and that driving is fun. So early in 2025, you can look forward to the first balancing patch, rebalancing pretty much all cars. But then over the year, obviously, we'll look at the numbers, we'll look at feedback, and we'll make sure that if it needs to be readjusted, we do it every so often just to make sure everything's perfect.
Yep, that makes sense. And my second question is, where's the game directory? So like, is it heading towards more role-playing, racing, collecting? Like, where's the game heading overall in the future?
I think the easiest way that I can explain that is basically the name of the game itself, like Driving Empire.
Right.
I think our focus is really like to give the best experience of you collecting the cars and every single type of vehicle, to be honest, and you using that in the way that you want to.
Yeah.
So right now we are really prioritizing more like, let's focus on the core loop of the game, like driving. So let's improve the chassis. Let's make like rebalance rebalancing. Let's bring the brands that you guys really want to have in the game. And after we have like just more like solid for the game, just more like the foundation of the game, is when we're going to be moving to more like role playing. So first, we really want to make a better driving, racing car game. And after we are done, like we already get it better with that one, we're going to be moving to more like role playing. And the role playing is going to be more like giving you guys the tools and you can do whatever you want. Wanted to say like how you should role play. We just want to give you options and you do whatever you want.
Then my third question is, will we get all new races in the new map, or will it just be like the current ones which we have now, or like newer versions of the ones which we have in the game right now?
I personally really love races. I want to elevate races to a brand new level. And so next year, we're both adding new races, but also improving the current ones. And this is sort of tied in with the new map as well. But yeah, there's not too many details there that I could share. Like Get said, we want racing to be a core part of Driving Empire, and races need to feel good. So they're going through an overhaul that'll be coming down the pipeline. You'll see your fan favorites, right? They'll stay there. They'll just be updated. They'll be, made better.
And then my final question is, could mobile customization be brought back? So like customizing your cars outside, like which we had previously before.
What do you guys think? Do you guys want to be able to customize your cars?
Please, I've seen a lot of people like saying they have. I feel like it was a very good feature, only because like currently in the game, the new customization is good and everything, but the lighting is a little bit like offsetting from like the actual like in-game look. So you can do a color in the garage and then it's like different when you're outside. So I feel like it'd be a good feature in my opinion.
I 100% agree with you. It was like one of my favorite things to do for customizing, is driving around, but being able to change it in real time.
Exactly. Yeah, I see chat saying yes. I
will say that this is something I'm really interested in doing. I love the idea of doing it. We'll need a planet, and I'm pretty confident that this is something we can push through.
And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
Final content creator we'll have is ABC Glitched. Can you please share with us your questions?
So my first question is, will there be a system to like share money with people that's not Robux? So like currently in game, you have to pay like Robux to give money. Can you give some of your money? So basically donating.
GM mentioned earlier about trading cars, and we're still evaluating this first. It can cause a lot of problems in the economy, so we need to be very careful about this kind of systems. This is not our priority of trading right now, but we can still evaluate if it makes sense or not in the future. But for now, it will be a nightmare for our players and for us to do a system like that.
Yeah. Second one is, what's going to happen with the racing physics and the suspension? Like, will there be chassis changes?
Yeah, there will be chassis changes. It's one of those things where we are planning to improve the chassis, but everyone has to understand it's tricky, right? There's so many different types of vehicles. There's no singular approach to improve the chassis. It's one of those things where there's a lot, you have hypercars, right? You have trucks. They all handle differently in terms of their suspension. Not one vehicle is like, you can't do one solution for all vehicles. It's one of those things where we have to spend time and figure out like, what's the best suspension per a type of category of a vehicle. And I would say long to short, it's a lot of work, and there are thoughts about this. There is some discussions. We're thinking about it. This is something that we're definitely going to want to improve. I imagine that, the racing experience will be so much more greater if it's more realistic.
Sorry, just one more thing, ABC. For that one specifically, one of the things that is hard for us to know is like what exactly you guys want. Like a more realistic, it's a more like arcade type of car. So one of the things that probably going to be doing like soon is running some surveys with everyone here to really understand what exactly you guys want to have, what type of experience you want to have when you're driving your car. So that can help us to like really figure out, we want a more realistic, but what is exactly like more realistic? It's more like Forza type of game, or it's more like different type of game?
I think people want more Forza, but I don't know about that. There might have to be like test stuff for that. But my final question is, will there be daily quests like revamp, so you can get like weekly quests in that as well?
We're going to be changing quests. I'm not sure about like weekly quests, but one of the things that we're going to be doing is rebalancing quests. So we know that if you already the cars that you really like, not make too much sense for you to finish all the quests every single day because they're not giving too much money. So we're going to be rebalancing that, make sure the quests are more like balanced based on your current economy. And for the playtime, that's going to be the same thing. We're also going to be improving playtime, so you guys are going to be able to get more cash from those both systems.
Like when it comes to quests, as we're adding more systems into the games, or like jobs and stuff like that, right? We would want to add more quests pertaining to those systems.
Thank you, APC, for the questions. We're going to be moving on to the more community asked questions. Will the new map be bigger than the current map?
We already try to scale the map. We're trying like different sides of the maps, to be honest. We are trying like bigger maps, we are trying smaller maps. What we found is that the new map that we are working right now is probably going to be the same wish size of the current one, but let's see what's going to happen, because what is our goal is to have a new map probably going to be the same size as the current one, but in a way that we can have more islands over the map. So for example, like if you guys really want to have, let's say, a Japan area, area, we can just like introduce a new area. That's gonna be super simple. But for now, probably it's gonna be the same size.
The next question, will there be changes to the character's animations while driving?
So this isn't exactly something that we originally planned, but it's a really good idea now that we've heard it. Right now, we're more focused on adding like driving VFX and SFX and really kind of fleshing out that area of the game. It's a really good idea, and nothing says we can't do something like that. Like the character, I assume it means like looking behind you when you're reversing, or like leaning to the right and left as you turn in game really hard or drift around or things like that. Yeah, that would be a really great idea.
Next question, what can we expect with roleplay coming next year?
For role playing, one of the things that we're gonna be figured out, the number one is like it's gonna be happening with houses. That's number one. The other one is we really want to have more open buildings. That means basically like you guys gonna have more things to do inside the buildings and all this stuff. And the other one, it's gonna be we are thinking about jobs and how we can bring jobs, but that's still like just a thought. We don't have an answer yet for that. But yes, you guys gonna have a lot of things. And one more thing that we really want to have in the game is more like interactable objects. Yeah. So for example, if you go to a gas station, you're gonna have things over there that you can interact with.
Next question, will there be house customization?
At the moment, there's not like an in-depth house customization system that we have planned. Honestly, like if the community really demands us to like improve houses and add new systems into it, make that system much deeper, you know, not just selling houses. If you want something like that and you want the roleplay aspect to be pushed, we can shift our focus to it in 2025. But yeah, keep in mind that houses are, you know, they're big. There's a lot of assets. So it takes time to do. And yeah, just out there, like there's nothing concrete, but it could be something like when you buy a house, it's empty at first, and then you need to furnish it. And as you do, maybe you're able to choose, you know, what type of couch, for example, you would want to have in your house and what color it is or what, you know, style or material or whatever, right? And you'd be able to decorate. But all of those are assets, and so that takes a lot of time.
Moving on, will there be a weather/lighting update?
We did launch a lighting update previously, and it did overhaul like the lighting, the way the morning looks, the evening, the nighttime. For sure, you all have noticed it looks much better. You know, driving in the dark, it's not like someone blindfolded you. For a new like weather, like kind of like having rain come down and having raindrops hit your screen, it's something we do want to do. Yeah, there's some performance considerations we need to think about, like what users are going to get this. Like, is it desktop, mobile, right? What's the fidelity we're trying to reach for? Yeah, I definitely imagine we'll do something like this.
Next question, another question that's been asked a lot. Are we getting more rewards on solo races?
Yes, I think GM already said that we're going to make a lot of change in racing pretty soon. And one of the things that we really want to make sure is like our end goal is not to incentivize more solo race. We want to have more players playing together. So we're going to be focused more on multiplayers. But since we know that is sometimes you guys have an issue of like you go to the game and you can find someone to race against, we're probably going to be doing some change in solo race as well, so you also can get more benefits from solo race. So the answer is like yes, but we're still not sure about what's going to be the final design.
Moving on to the last question, are there plans to add AI traffic?
It is doable, right? I imagine if we added AI traffic, it would make the world feel more alive. There is some different hurdles we have to overcome. It comes down to performance. So like, you know, how are we simulating the AI? How many are we simulating? Where are we simulating them? How much locality are we going to allow? It's one of those things where we don't want to overburden like already like devices that are on the lower side, right? That have limited resources. It's one of these things where we just need to profile it, build it out, and understand if it's going to provide value. So this one's pretty unknown, but it's doable.
And with that, we're done with the questions. I'd just like to move on to the closing of the stage. A massive thank you to everyone who joined us and that stayed to the session. We really appreciate your time and continued support. As a team, really committed to making Driving Empire the best driving game on Roblox. It's your passion and feedback that makes this possible. You guys are the center of our community, and we could not do it without you. And before we go, as a little token of appreciation from the team to you, we made a special redeemable code. Code is Zoom. Prepare for next week's update. Really exciting one.
Alright guys, so that was the Driving Empire roadmap event, and yeah, that was pretty long, and there was some pretty interesting questions. And yeah, I do wish I would have been in content creator for me to be able to answer questions. My questions would have been, would they ever get music licensing? For example, if they maybe added a Juice WRLD song or something, maybe they could add licensing for that. That's just an example. Yeah, if they could add that, that would be really cool. That would have been one of my questions. But yeah, I would like to go through all the stuff they talked about, but then the video will be way too long. It's already too long. So yeah, but yeah, I will say one thing, and that is the new map. We are actually not getting a new map. We are just getting a map revamp. So we're just gonna have the same map, just gonna be revamped, which is kind of disappointing, and I know a lot of people are gonna be mad about that. But yeah, guys, if you did watch the whole thing, you will know exactly what's gonna happen and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, guys, I did make the video as short as possible with all the questions and answers in. But yeah, guys, I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm gonna end the video here. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. If you found the video helpful or enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, join my Discord server, join my Roblox group, and have a good day, everybody. Peace, guys.